everybody, DeathsStalker here. So, what a week I had a couple weeks ago. And I'll tell you about probably the worst week I've had, and I can't even remember. Now, it all started off on the Sunday. I took my RC out for a little ride and decided lighting a cigarette and trying to pull in traffic. Anyways, back to regular scheduled programming. So I took my RC out for a ride, and I knew that I needed to fill a tank up. So I went to the fuel station I go to, which is, you know, out of town, but it's actually a nice ride. And the main reason I go there is because I know they have new fuel tanks, so you don't have to worry about getting crap in your tank. So I filled it up, and what everybody's doing here, it's craziness. Anyways, filled her up, turned the key to start the bike, and the battery's dead. Now, if you've seen some of my other rides, plus there's a couple videos that never made it because there were some audio issues, I hit a couple really bad bumps on this bike. And the one thing RC51 batteries hate is shock. And I used to do it fairly regularly going to work, and it looked like I killed a couple cells probably a week or so before the battery finally gave up the ghost. So I had to call my wife, and she bought a booster pack out so I could actually boost the bike. I would have tried to bump start it, but there wasn't anybody with me, so I couldn't really get anybody to give me a decent push. And the gas station was almost completely flat. Like, there was no place I could get gravity to be my friend. So I had to get the thing boosted, drove it back home. Now, of course, that's Sunday, and anybody in Ontario knows our motorcycle shops are closed on Monday. So Tuesday, first thing in the morning, as soon as I knew they opened, phoned up, left a message asking about a battery and for my specific bike, and gave my number. They called back about 20 minutes later, said yep, they got one. And with all the COVID thing, of course, you had to like wait out, like you couldn't actually go into the shop to get it, so you had to wait outside for it. So I drove out with my car, paid the money, got the battery, and drove home, thinking, awesome, I'll be on my bike, it's a nice day. Well, as I'm getting close to home, I'm starting to hear this funny sound from my car, and not quite certain what it is. Like, you know when you get that weird sound, and my car's a manual, so the first thing you do is you put your hand on the shifter to see if it's actually a drivetrain vibration, which it wasn't. So then I shimmied the front end left and right, and no, it wasn't that. Touched the brakes, no, it wasn't that. So, okay, I haven't got a clue. So I pulled in the driveway and got down on my hands and knees underneath my car and took a look, and something was hanging down underneath the engine. So I phoned the local repair place, because I don't work on cars. I used to, but I'm not into it anymore, and made arrangements to drop it off, but they couldn't take it till Wednesday. So then I was puttering around with my car. My motorcycle got in that thing already, and then some other stuff came up, so I never got to ride it. So it comes along till the next day, the car goes in. They call me up and said, oh, it's something called the splash shield. I guess it keeps the water from shorting out the electronics if you happen to sail into a big puddle in the road, which, if you've been around here, our roads are pretty crap, and that's not uncommon. and it was around $300 with labor to get it installed. And it's like, okay, well, I don't have the equipment to get my car off the ground high enough to actually do that sort of stuff, or the specialized tools, so go ahead. Then they give me a call and say they think there's something wrong with my front brakes, and they asked if they could check them out, and I said, yeah, go ahead, because like stopping is actually important. And turns out the brake pad material had delaminated off the backer plates, and that would explain why my car every once in a while seemed to have like a bit of a wooden braking pedal pressure. You know, it was something that the car was still stopping, and it was going to come in for an oil change in about a month, and I thought, well, might as well just wait till the oil change. But that had to be done. So it's like $1,300 to get my car back, and this is on paying a $300 for a battery. Now I'm not going to go into the fact that, you know, you can use the sodium lithium batteries and all that sort of stuff. It's like with the COVID thing, this was the only place that had a battery in stock, and unless I wanted to take my chance and wait for a couple days, this was the only battery I was going to get. So great, my car's ready. I go pick it up, then I go to get in my car, and I guess whoever the mechanic was in the car must have been like well over 6 feet tall. He had the seat all the way back, so as I get into the car, I go to sit back, and my seat isn't where I normally expect it to be, and I have a cell phone on, like, it looks like a hip holster that keeps my phone, and I'm left-handed, so it is on the left side of my body. And doesn't it hook the door frame of the car and snap the clip right off it? So now I have to buy a new holster for my cell phone. And it's like, oh geez, can it get any worse? Yeah, it did. The next day, we had a tree company come to our house because we had called about one of our trees that wasn't looking too well. It was a very old, well over 170-year-old maple tree. Beautiful tree, loved it, but last year it started to look a little like some of the branches were dying. So they had done some stuff to it, and it seemed to be fine. This year it was doing pretty good. Then in March we had, like, it was nice warm weather, then one day we had a sudden snowstorm, just out of the blue, one day, like a flash freeze, and then by the end of the day snow was melted, but the damage was done. Apparently that was enough to kill a tree. So we had the tree company come in and said, yeah, it's dead, and you know, to safely remove the tree, it was going to be between about $35 and $4,300, and it was like, and now the nice thing is we didn't have to pay for that out right now, but because they're running behind, they said somewhere between 8 to 10 weeks before that comes up. Now we have savings, we can pay that sort of stuff, but it was just like, you know, what a week. And so I'm sitting home moping a bit about all the money we've had to spend over the last 4 days, and I'm having something to eat, and doesn't a crown come out of my mouth. So, like, just when this video was recorded, like a couple days later, I got the crown put back in, but this was all literally in the course of 7 days. So it was a very expensive, very crappy week, and you know what, I hope I don't ever have it again, and I hope nobody ever has a week as bad as this one. Anyways, now I'm going to try to ride the bike. DeathsStalker, signing off.